Hi, I'm Christy Dena. I'm director of my company Universe Creation 101. It's a company where I work as a writer and freelancer, as a writer and experience designer on transmedia projects, digital storytelling. And I also work as a consultant where people can come to me, let's say a filmmaker or a book writer, either when their project has already been released or when it's actually at the script stage. And I help them work out a way to expand their actual work across media platforms in an organic way that works for them within their budget and according to the goals. Transmedia is, for a lot of people entering the area, it means a lot of different things. For me, in the end, it basically means that you're creating content on lots of different media platforms, and a media platform can include a live event, it can include a book, it can include a digital game, it can include an online experience, lots of different things. And each of those elements on those different media, or those different touch points, if you like, are all part of the meaning-making process. They're all an important part of the meaning-making process for the audience. And so, ideally, they're treated equally, and an important part of the process. And they're seen to have a combined effect for the audience. That when they experience more than one element on different media platforms, they're actually getting deeper and a more complex understanding and experience of the work. Experience design thinks about the end user experience, if you like, the end audience experience, and they think about, well, are they going to begin the experience of your documentary through broadcast, and then are we going to move them over to the web, for instance, or to a live event, and how are we going to do that? So it actually helps bring the coherence to the whole work. It has a lot of, the experience designer role has a lot of similarities to a director role in that sense, of bringing it all together and making sure all the pieces fit. You don't have to do it. And if it's not for you, if you feel as if your project demands it in some way, the entry point for a lot of people moving into this area is, well, I want to market and publicize, my documentary, and I'm aware of the fact that content marketing, if you like, can be quite effective, and so that's often people's entry point into the area. And then it's a case of, if you're genuinely not interested in extending your creative palette to have other ways of presenting your messages and your story in that sense, then it's a case of bringing someone in that you can work with, that you trust, that can actually fulfill those tasks and execute it for you. But in the end, I'm not one to say that you have to do transmedia, because it is a creative approach. It's basically, you don't force someone to write both for TV and for theatre. They do it because they want to, and it's the same with transmedia in that sense. I think the producer obviously needs to think about, they've already thought about who their end audience is, and so the media does, in a way, that is part of the answering of the question. If you're trying to reach certain people, or there's certain goals that you're trying to achieve, then the media becomes part of that answer, part of that solution, which then affects who you're going to actually go and speak to. In the end, you can bring on a transmedia producer at the beginning, or someone who, if you've decided, for instance, you definitely want to have digital or online elements in some way, then it's a case of bringing in as early as possible someone who who works in that area. And as I said, bring them in pre-pitch stage if possible, and just start having lots of conversations with people about what can happen. Do your research. There's a lot of information about these sort of projects online. And yeah, get the people involved and start thinking about the project in terms of sharing of assets through the different team members. You know, how much obviously is going to be involved in terms of the budget, how you're going to source the right talent for the different media platforms. You know, will it require game designers, experienced designers, writers, artists, and are they the sort of people that can work on more than one element of the project? Because that's the ideal, is that you're bringing on people that either have a natural curiosity to actually find out about the other elements that are going on, the other components of the work, and you get them involved, or they're already experienced and they know how to do that. You know, that's very much the ideal there.